I am so happy right now. I have one of my friends in here, and it's such a great message and information to share with you today. Craig Woodard Sr. He is president of DSATB, Rise Up for Down Syndrome. And I just love talking with you, catching up with you. It's been too long.
It has been too long. I mean, we talk often. We don't get to see each other as much, but
Right.
I so thank you for getting me on here to kind of pass on the message and let us promote World Down Syndrome Days coming up next month. So this is a beautiful thing. It's great to see you.
Well, we have a lot to get into because we've got to talk about the big event coming up. And again,
Yes.
Thank you for making me a part of it.
Absolutely.
I did it one time before. I was part of it one time before. Just honored to be. And of course, now we're out of the COVID years,
Yes.
knock on wood.
Yes.
So we're back in the full swing of things. So we're going to talk about the gala in a moment.
Yeah.
But first, if you can bring folks up to speed on your story and your reason for founding this organization.
Absolutely. You know, my wife Christine and I had Craig Woodard Jr., a little boy, our little hero, our angel. We had him back on April 13th, 2014. And going through our experience, knowing that she was high risk because she was a little older, being pregnant, but they found markers that she may have a child or a son or daughter born with Down syndrome. So we went through the whole process. We decided to have an amniocentesis done, which is a test that they do, which is a high risk test to find out whether or not the child is going to be born with Down syndrome, and it came back positive. So at that point, we didn't know what to do. We of course knew we were keeping this child, you know, but we were trying to educate ourselves on Down syndrome. We had no idea what it was. So what do? There's no resources. You go to the internet, and good, bad, or indifferent, you're going to find it. And we were just really scared and nervous. And so we were in the hospital, gave birth, and a little man came out, and yes, he was diagnosed with Down syndrome. So what we wanted to do is we wanted to start an organization where we could help parents that found out that they were having a child born with Down syndrome and be a resource for them. So I take phone calls all the time. We have people that join our organization, and they come and network with the other parents, and everyone has a different story, you know, and I thought it was impactful for me to write a book with different families to kind of share our journey. So that's what we do. The Down Syndrome Association in Tampa Bay is here. We've been here. Yesterday was our 5-year anniversary, and this is my life now. So it's nothing like you start and then, okay, this thing is going to go away. Craig Jr. is 8 years old, going on 9, and we're going strong with this organization because we want to help as many people as we can.
Congratulations on 5 years. That's awesome.
Thank you.
And I have to tell you, Craig, I've interviewed you before, as we mentioned, and a number of times. And every time you tell that story of what you and Christine went through, her being pregnant, what you found out, it deeply affects me. And I know, our listeners as well. And I'm just like, I feel for you. But it's funny because every time you tell me this story is a time that I've gotten to know you and Craig Jr. and Christine. I've become closer with you because I've known you for longer.
Right.
And so my feeling about you telling that story now, because it has such a happy ending,
Yes.
it's a different kind of, I'm almost crying here when I hear you say it, but it's tears of joy.
Absolutely.
Because of what a wonderful young man you have and the experiences that the three of you are sharing in life. And so I just, your story is incredible. So speaking of which, this is something, let's just jump to the book, because when we're talking stories, I think of this book. You told me you're going to do this, and now here it's done.
I think that's one thing that a lot of people in the Tampa Bay area know about me. When I say I'm going to do something, I do it and I get it done. And I had this idea of, let's try to help people not have the feeling that we had when we went through this pregnancy, and
exactly.
give them a resource that they can read this story and find out everyone's journey is different, but the outcome ends up okay. Like, these are angels, so you have nothing to worry about. So whenever I talk to somebody on the phone, the first thing I say is congratulations, and that eases things. And then I tell them how things are going to go. They may have a different experience than what we did, and that's quite all right. But the end result is you just gave birth to an angel. So we came together. I got 6 other families that wrote their story in their chapter. And you can just sit down. It's an easy read through the book, read through everybody else's journey that's similar but different, and just say, you know what, it's going to be okay. I'm going to make it through this. And that was the point of me writing this book and putting it together. The book is called Down Syndrome, Blessed with This Ability. And I love the term of this ability opposed to disability, because disability to me in our situation always sounds like it's negative. But there's something positive that goes on with these kids. That extra chromosome, that extra 21st chromosome, that's a chromosome of love.
Amen.
And if you have never met a child or an individual or an adult born with Down syndrome, please reach out to someone. If you see someone in the grocery store, at the mall, go up, give them a hug. They'll give you a hug right back. They give the best hugs.
You know what? I'm glad you brought this up, because that's how I mean, you've just put that so perfectly. I can't imagine a better way to put that extra chromosome is love, because they experience love in a way that it's like what you aspire to be, but will never be as the imperfect humans that they are. They experience perfect love. I don't know what it is, but it's beautiful, and I know what you're talking about.
Yes.
And I've often thought to myself, like, when I do see someone, like you said, in the grocery store,
yes,
and I just, like, they make me light up, because it's amazing, and I feel those urges and I smile at them, and then I wonder, oh, okay, are the parents, am I intruding?
Right.
But so that's a good sort of, because I'm not staring like it's an oddity, I'm staring in awe, or I'm greeting them in awe.
Let's talk about that. So
Okay.
So I always like to kind of coach people about how to approach, because some people don't know, are they intruding? Are they saying something they shouldn't say? How do they approach?
Mm-hmm.
And my thing is this, I'll tell you an experience we had. Craig Jr. had torticollis when he was younger, and you have a certain time frame when they're younger in order for them to have a helmet to wear for 6 months to make sure that they shape their skull correctly so their jawline is not abnormal. Craig Jr. is resilient. He doesn't know he has a helmet on. He doesn't know what he looks like. We do. So my wife and I used to go to the mall all the time. Not for him, for us. Everyone would stare at us all the time. They'd stare at him. They'd stare at us. They'd stare at him. And we were building up the courage and the stamina and the resiliency to know that this is going to be our life the rest of our lives. And so we started to address people when they would come up to us or they would stare, and we started to accept it,
Accept it and sort of engage and
yes,
go with it.
And half the time people would just want to come up and say, you have the cutest little boy.
Right.
So we had to deal with that part of it as well. But we've had many conversations with so many people about how he looks, what's going on, and that it didn't even have anything to do with the Down syndrome.
Mm-hmm.
So you have to embrace it. I told a story yesterday where outside of Down syndrome, what I make it a point to do is if I'm at the store and there's a gentleman in a wheelchair coming up to me or getting ready to go by me, I always make sure I make eye contact, say hi, maybe put my hand on his shoulder and say, how was your day today? Mm-hmm. And the reason why is because there could have been the last 20 people that walked by him didn't even acknowledge him. And so that would make him feel good, makes me feel pretty good too.
I like it. Yes, for sure. I mean, that is true. Like you get something from that exchange, because we see, like we said, the love they have to give. And I love the title of your book, Down Syndrome, Blessed with Disability. Like you mentioned, it's not disability, it's this ability. And the key word too is blessed.
Yes.
Because it is just a paradigm shift.
Yes.
And it's looking at things through a different lens. And I also have to, very important point to make, Craig Jr. is going to go through life having people stare because he is so stinking cute.
I appreciate that. He's something. He's the rock of our world, and we like to say he's Facebook famous. I could post a picture of him and he'll get more likes than I do, but that's what it's supposed to be. And I love to share him with the world. And I also love to highlight all the other individuals blessed with Down syndrome in our organization as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And so we're going to get to meet all those kids at this event that's coming up.
Absolutely.
And it's going to be here before we know it. We're already into March.
March 25th is coming up. So just a little background. Our 5th year anniversary for the Down Syndrome Association of Tampa Bay was yesterday, February 23rd of 2018. We were approved and ready to fundraise. So DSATB was born, right? So I wanted to get something really close to our anniversary as well as World Down Syndrome Day, which is March 21st. It's March 21st because March is the 3rd month. There's your 3. On the 21st day, there's your 21. And Down syndrome, another name for it, is trisomy 21. Hence the jersey that I have on right now, right? 321. Yeah. And so we got as close to that date as we could, and we have it on March 25th. So we're going to be celebrating our 5-year anniversary as well as World Down Syndrome Day at the Rise Up for Down Syndrome Gala. It goes from 5 to 9. It's going to be fantastic. And I'm so blessed, Roxanne, for you to be our MC again for the 2nd time. This is just simply awesome.
And you've got so many people who are a part of it who I'm honored to be hanging out with. We've got Drew Garabo,
yes.
and I know he's had a journey as of late. I've been trying to keep up with him on social media, and so prayers for how he's doing in his health. So I'm so happy to be around everybody and make this a really great special night. So what do folks need to do what do people need to do if we're going to buy tickets or haven't bought tickets yet? Any way that you can be a part of it?
Absolutely. So just to kind of highlight a few highlights here for the gala, I have obviously our wonderful MC, Q105's The Currents. Roxanne Wilder's our MC. We have Charlie Belcher, Fox 13's award-winning reporter. He will be winning a community advocacy award there as well. We also have, like we said, Drew Garabo from 102.5 The Bone. He is our vice president at the Down Syndrome Association of Tampa Bay. He will be there as well. His nephew Will was born with Down syndrome, so he's been a proponent and an advocate for a long time, doing the same thing that we're doing as well. So if you'd like to join us, there's still tickets available. You can go to www.DSATB.org. That's in Down Syndrome Association of Tampa Bay, DSATB.org, and click on Gala tickets, and it'll take you right to the link. And there's going to be dinner, open bar, awards, entertainment by Bash Entertainment, and a lot of fun. Just a lot of fun.
Are you going to have the sitters like you did the last time?
We that was a great idea that we had, and we had the room when we had it at the Tampa Museum of Art. We're going to have this one at the Winthrop Barn Theater. So there's not enough room in like a separate room to have some